What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is CJ the Cheese DJ here, and we're back with another Ark Insight. And today we are taking a look at the Rock Drake versus the Reaper King. But before we begin, I just want to make a quick note. Guys, feel free to head over onto my Discord. Link is in the description there. Make sure to check it out, get a feel for the place, and who knows, maybe I'll even see you on my server. So just take a quick look over there. The link is in the description, and everything else is on the Discord server. Alrighty, let's get into the video. Okay, so starting off with the Rock Drake's base stats, these guys are both level 1s. You can see there he's got 900 health, 450 stamina, 400 weight, and 105 melee damage. So he's got relatively decent stats. If you guys have seen our Rock Drake versus Rex one, you'll know that he has lower stats than the Rex. So let's come over to the Reaper King here and see how much he has. The Reaper King here has 6,500 health, 480 stamina, 415 weight, and 175 melee damage. Now these guys are both level 1, so they are at their base stats. And already you can see that there is a huge difference between the Rock Drake and the Reaper King in terms of stats. 6,500 health is a crap ton amount of health to have on the Reaper King, and I can already tell you who will be winning the fight at the end. Alrighty, so let's just get into their movement speed. Okay, so their movement speed was up next, and we pretty much ran from this rock to that rock straight ahead of us. You can see there, it's just this one here. Now, the Rock Drake managed to complete the course in 7 seconds. You can see there, that rock there was where we wanted to hit. In 7 seconds, so that's a pretty impressive feat. And I can tell you now, based off what we've done with the Reaper King, I honestly think the Rock Drake will actually be faster than the Reaper King. But you know, that is understandable because you've got to look at the... Get out of my tail, face. There we go. That's what I meant to say. Tail out of my face. Sure. So you'll see here that the Reaper King is obviously a lot bigger than the Rock Drake. And now we're off now. And it'll take the Reaper King about 10 seconds to get to the same rock that the Rock Drake got to. So he is obviously a little bit slower, but that's to be understandable because he's a huge bulwark of a creature. And you see there, he managed to make it in about 10 to 11 seconds, we'll say. So it was pretty close. Now, we're quickly going to go over their abilities while we're here. So the Reaper King, like you just saw there, has the ability to jump, and his jump isn't too bad. It's pretty good for covering terrain distances, especially on Aberration, and you can obviously use it to get higher and higher. Now, another ability that he has is the ability to shoot out little spores out of his tail. These essentially slow down the victim and deal torpor damage. You'll see here when we get a little bit of stamina back, that will actually slow down the Paraceratherium. You can see there, he'll now move a lot slower than what he was moving before. You can see there, look how slow he is. The third attack is the ability to do a tailspin, and this essentially knocks back whatever you're attacking. Now his fourth and final ability is the ability to dig underground. Now on consoles you can't actually do it while riding him. However, on PC, I am pretty sure you have the ability to do it while riding him. You see that he's buried under the ground, so you can essentially unbury him. Use him as a mini vault in terms, and now we're getting attacked by the Paraceratherium. So they are the Reaper King's abilities. Now, for the Rock Drake, he has quite a few abilities. We're going to let him do his own little thing first. So the Rock Drake has the ability to camouflage. You can see there by pressing your thumbstick on the controller, you actually go invisible. Another ability of his is the ability to actually climb upside down and on structures. You can see here we're currently sticking to the wall. You'll see this one here will actually be able to go over it and upside down it, however direction you want to go with it. So you can see there we're camouflaged and climbing. Now you can activate your camouflage whenever you want, and you can activate your climbing ability whenever you want. Now another ability that the Rock Drake possesses is obviously the ability to glide. Now you can see there we're able to glide. Now you'll see the crosshairs come up. You can actually do a dive bomb attack that does quite a bit of damage to any victims you get in the area. However, do be careful because your stamina will obviously be affected by it. Now, the Rock Drake's base damage is 62. You can see there, we've got him at level 1. There's no buffs affecting this Morellotop, and he's hitting for 62. Now, that's a very low amount of damage. You're not doing much damage with that attack. Now, with his gliding bomb attack, you'll see that will actually do a little bit more damage as soon as we manage to get the glide controls going. It's very glitchy on consoles. You'll see there we've got to find a victim to kill first. And you can see there we hit for 240 and 150 on the Spino. So the Rock Drake's dive bomb ability is pretty good. It's essentially his Wyvern breath. Since he does not have a breath attack, That's essentially his breath attack, the dive bomb attack. Now, the Reaper King's 3 abilities all hit different amounts of damage. His tail spin attack deals 84 damage, while his primary attack deals 131. You can see him there attacking the Spino and Paraceratherium. He just did his tail spin attack and he hit for 84, and his primary attack deals 131. His little tail discharge attack also deals 9 damage for each spore hit. Where's the Spino? There he is over there. You can see there, we're going to hit the Spino for 9 damage. Each ball hits for 9 damage. So the Reaper King is a lot more powerful than the Rock Drake. Now, in terms of swim speed, the Reaper King is obviously what you'd expect. Pretty slow. He's not the greatest mover in water, but you know, that's understandable because he is a big character and he's obviously going to move slow in terrain that he can't really get himself through. So he's not the best to take through water, so I definitely don't recommend taking him through the waters of Aberration. Now, the Rock Drake, on the other hand, is actually a very good swimmer. You can see here, he's pretty fast. He puts his little feathers behind him and he pretty much uses himself as a sailboat with his strong, powerful tail. So he's relatively decent in the water. You can definitely invest a few points in movement speed for this guy. You can't actually level up his movement speed, that's right, because he counts as a flyer, technically. And you can actually jump out of the water with the Rock Drake as well and go into the glide. So I definitely recommend taking the Rock Drake swimming, especially on Aberration. There's not really much that's going to kill you down there, except for the Carcanosses and the jellyfish. Stay away from the jellyfish, they are very deadly. Alright, next up we took a look at their turning radius. And you can see here the Rock Drake actually has really good turning radius. He's able to really pivot on the point really well. And his turning radius is actually probably around the same as the Reaper Kings, if I'm being honest. They kind of are essentially turning at the same pace, I would say, almost. You can see that, yeah, I would say they have the same turning radius. The Reaper King might actually be a tad bit better, but their turning radius is pretty self-explanatory. Now, what we're actually going to do now is we're going to test to see who can actually get the furthest. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump with the Reaper King, and then what we're going to do is we're going to glide with the Rock Drake and see who ends up being the furthest. We're going to try and get the optimal, range here with the Reaper King. You can see we've aimed up, and we are going to jump. Before we jump, let's just take a quick note of where we are. We're going to move. No, we're fine here. Alright, so we're going to aim right up there at the clouds. Alright, let's go. So we're going to see how far the Reaper King makes it. That's actually a pretty solid amount of distance he managed to cover. Okay, so we're going to leave him there, and now what we're going to do is we're going to dive bomb from the same spot with the Rock Drake. Now, we're not going to go straight down, we're not going to go straight up. We're going to try and sail, almost, if that makes sense. There we go, you can see we're up here now. Alright, here we go, this is the moment of truth. I think we're over here something. Yeah, we're just over here. Alright, let's come around here, spin around nice and slow. There we go. I honestly think the Rock Drake will make it further than the Reaper King. Alright, so we're just going to go down like... Actually, you know what? That was almost the same amount of distance. The Rock Drake did get a tad bit further, but not by much. I'm going to say the Rock Drake actually ended up by here. So obviously the Rock Drake's ability to glide is much better than the Reaper King's jump distance. But the jumping distance on the Reaper King is pretty solid. Like, you saw how much he managed to cover. The Rock Drake wasn't too far off being the same distance as the Reaper King. Okay, first up, we've got the Rock Drake. Now, you can see there his inventory is empty, and we've got 2 Stegos once again. Lovers dead by the sides. Let's eat them. So, the Rock Drake managed to get 62 raw meat, 60 hide, 2 prime meat, I believe. No, 1 prime meat, and 1 keratin. So, he honestly didn't get that much meat. I can tell you now that the Reaper King will actually get more meat than the Stego if the vultures don't eat it first. Looks like the vultures are going to get first picks. Okay, well, that's annoying. Okay, and we've just got another Stego now in front of us, and we'll see how much we get. 48 hide, 77 raw meat, and 2 prime meat. So obviously, the Reaper King is the better gatherer of meats in comparison to the Rock Drake, which is to be expected. Like, look at the size of those jaws versus the size of these jaws. I mean, honestly, the Reaper King is definitely going to win that battle. Alright, next up is the fight to the death. Okay, so they're locked and loaded, ready to go for the battle, and I honestly think, once again, that the Reaper King will absolutely demolish the Rock Drake. You can see there, the Reaper King is hitting for 105. We forgot to take the actual saddle off the Rock Drake as well. It's not going to make any difference. I can honestly tell you right now, the Rock Drake will die, regardless of how much saddle armor it has. The 6,500 health on the Reaper King, as well as the reduced damage. I still don't understand why the Reaper Kings take reduced damage, but you saw it there. the Rock Drake got absolutely destroyed. Like, he got torn a new butthole. He's absolutely wrecked. So, I still don't know what's going on with the Reaper Kings and why they take reduced damage. If you guys do know, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. But other than that, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to check out my Discord and, heck, even join my server. But for now, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.